Okay, good morning, class. So at this point, we're looking at sequence and series. We started off the lesson yesterday reminding you where sequence and series fits in and what does D stand for and the A stand for and so on. Okay? I also explained that sequence and the sequences was dealt with since the primary school days already. Last year we looked at quadratic sequences. Okay? So we're looking at worked example 1 on page 4. Sorry about that. Okay, so example on page 4, example 1, it says consider the arithmetic sequence 2, 6, 10, 14 and so on. What's a common difference? So as I said yesterday, to calculate the common difference, it's going to be T3 minus T2, which is equal to T2 minus T1. This is synonymous with arithmetic sequences. Okay? Which is arithmetic sequence, that's the one thing that applies to arithmetic sequences only. Okay? So if you're looking at the common difference here, so it's going to be 6 minus 2, which is 4. Or I could have said 10 minus 6, which is 4. 14 minus 10, which is 4. Okay, so your common difference is 4. Then number 2 says state the value of the next two terms in the sequence. Okay, so the next two terms in the sequence, we've got 2, 6, 10, 14. So how do I move from one to the next? I'm adding 4 all the time, which is my D value. So I continue adding 4, which is then going to give me 18. Then 18 plus 4 is 22. So 18 and 22 are the next two terms in the sequence. You all okay with that? Then in number 3 says determine a formula for the nth term of the sequence. So the nth term is the general term. And what's the general term of a sequence? Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 times t. What is a? The first term. And what's the first term of the sequence? 2 plus n minus 1 times, and what's my common difference? 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this. Is going to give you 2 plus 4n minus 4, which is 4n minus 2. This is my general term. Okay? Any confusion at this point? No? That's as far as we got yesterday. Now we look at number 4. In number 4, the question says, determine the value of the 25th term, term 25, of the sequence. So we know that what does the n represent? The term number or the position number? What's up? So in this case, we're going to calculate the value of the 25th term of this sequence. So it's going to be 4 times 25 minus 2. It's going to give you 100 minus 2 is 98. You all okay with that? Any confusion at this point? No. Then in number 5, they say, the general term, yeah? Number 5, which term has a value of 46? Which term of the sequence has a value of 46? So in other words, if I extend this pattern, there will be a term in this pattern which has a value of 46. That's all. And this is the nth term. Okay? So we say the some term of the sequence is equal to 46. We want to know which term of the sequence equals 46. However, at this point, we know what the general term of the sequence is, which is 4n minus 2. So what can I say? 4n minus 2 is equal to 46. So solve for n. I'm going to solve for n here. Take a 2 over. Gives you 4n equals 48. Divide by 4 both sides. N is equal to 12. So therefore the 12th term of the sequence is 46. So that means to say if I extend this pattern, then you'll see the 12th term of this pattern would be equal to 46. Does it make sense? Yeah? Let's look at number 6. Briefly explain why the value of n in the formula Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1d can only be a whole number. Why can it only be a whole number? What does n represent? Position number. So can we have somebody that is standing at the negative 5th position? No. So n can never be negative. Not so? Can we have somebody that is standing at 2.5? No. So in that case, because of the nature of n here, n can only be natural numbers. You guys understand? Let's see what the textbook says. We are told here that n represents the position of the term and cannot be negative, a fraction, or 0. That's exactly what we just said now. It can only be natural numbers. Does it make sense? Now in number 7, in question 7, we are told, is 72 a term in the sequence? Justify your answer. Which means to say, if I extend this term, the sequence, would there be a term in this sequence which will have a value of 72? So let's check. So they begin say that the nth term is equal to 72. But what is Tn? 4n minus 2 is equal to 72. So what do I do now? Solve for n. So we take it over. So 4n is equal to 74. Divide by 4 both sides. So n is 18,5. The question says, is 72 a term in the sequence? So could is the a position 18.5? No. So I can conclude therefore Tn will never be equal to 72. By justifying your answer, you can say that n has to be an element of natural numbers. N has to be an element of natural numbers. What are natural numbers? Numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. Do you guys understand? See any confusion? Okay. So let's look at page 5, worked example 2. We are told consider the arithmetic sequence 3x minus 1, 5x minus 2, and 4x plus 3. So what do we note at this point already? It says consider the arithmetic sequence. So what can we consider? It is arithmetic. Not so? What did we say? What is exclusive to arithmetic patterns? It has a constant difference. Not so? So it says in number 1, determine the value of x. So how are we going to solve for x here? By applying the fact that the constant difference is going to be T3 minus T2, which is equal to T2 minus T1. I'm going to use this, the constant difference. Okay? If it said anything other than arithmetic sequence, it would have said geometric or quadratic. Could I have used this here? The fact that T3 minus T2 is equal to, we couldn't have used it. You can only use this if it had said it is arithmetic or linear. Arithmetic and linear means the same. You all understand? Okay. So that is going to be term 1, term 2, term 3. So do the substitution and we'll solve for x quickly. Okay, so what do we get? 4x plus 3 minus, open the bracket, 5x minus 2 equals 5x minus 2 minus 3x minus 1. Do you all remember to put in the brackets? Yeah? Okay. That is normally a common made error. Learners forget to put the brackets in there. Okay. Okay, so we get 4x plus 3 minus 5x plus 2 equals 5x minus 2 minus 3x plus 1. Okay. Which now gives us minus x plus 5, I'm adding like this. 5x minus 3x is 2x minus 1. Bring that over, it becomes minus x minus 2x is equal to negative 1 minus 5. What is negative x minus 2x? Negative 3x. What is negative 1 minus 5? Negative 6. So what do I do now? Divide by negative 3. So x is then equal to 2. Is there any confusion there, people? Any confusion? No. Now they say if x is equal to 2, which now confirms our answer we had got in the previous calculation. And in the exam, if you have gotten any other number other than 2, you should not be using your number. You would use a number that is given to you in that question at that point. Okay. So you have x is equal to 2, determine the value of the first 3 terms of the sequence. And then determine the formula for the nth term of the sequence. So how are we going to calculate the value of the first 3 terms if x is equal to 2? Substitution. So if 3x minus 1 is the first term, wherever I see x, I put the 2. So do the substitution quickly. And then find the general term for me. So we get 6 minus 1 is 5. 10 minus 2 is 8. And 8 plus 3 is 11. You all got that? Okay, you finished with the general term already? Sorry? No? Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, so how do I move from one term to the next? I'm adding 3, which makes this my common difference, not so. So what's the general term? Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 times t. What's your a value? 5 plus n minus 1 times 3. We multiply, get rid of the bracket. So it's 5 plus 3n minus 3. So it's going to be 3n plus. Okay. You all agree with that? Number 2. Number 3, they say determine the value of the 15th term. Determine the value of the 15th term. I'm sure you know how to do that. D15. Okay, so what do we get? 3 times 15, which is 45 plus 2, which is 47. You will give it that? And number 4, which term has a value of 302? So the nth term is 302. So we must calculate the value of, what must we calculate the value of here in this case? N, not so? So what is Tn? 3n plus 2. So we say 3n plus 2 is equal to 302. Solve for n, and then you answer question 5 as well. We have 3n plus 2 equals 302. Take 2 over, becomes 302 minus 2, which is 300. Divided by 3, which gives you 100. Which means to say that the 100th term in the sequence is equal to 302. You all agree with that? You all okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. We finish with number 5? Yes, okay. So we say the nth term is going to be 150. They want to know, is 150 a term of the sequence? So let's check. 3n plus 2 is equal to 150. If n is a natural number, it could be a term, it will be a term of the sequence. Okay. Take 2 over, it becomes 3n is equal to 148. Divide by 3 is 148 divisible by 3. Sorry? 49,3 recurring, eh? This is 3. So is that a natural number? No. Therefore Tn is not equal to 150. Whoops. I'm not playing games, I'm just aligning the boards. So therefore Tn can never be equal to 150. Why? Because the n is an element of integers. Okay, any confusion here, people? Any confusion? No. Okay. So let's go to exercise 1 on page 6. We are going to do number 1 and number 3b. We are going to do now number 1 and number 3b out of exercise 1. Okay? It goes done with number 1. With these 5 sums. Okay. Okay, what's the sequence? 11, 5, negative 1 and negative 7. What's the common difference? What's the common difference? 6. You all agree with 6? Negative 6. Okay, good. State the value of the next 2 terms in the sequence. If I subtract 6 from 7, negative 7, you only give you negative 13. And then negative 19. You all agree with that? Number 3, determine the nth term of the sequence. They could have said the general term. So how do we work out the general term? It's a plus n minus 1 t. You all agree with that? Right? So what's my a value? Your a value is your first term, which is 11. As you can see here, plus n minus 1 times negative 6. So it's 11 minus 6 plus 6. Negative 6n, sorry. So it's going to be negative 6n plus 17. You all got that? See, anybody that's confused at this point? You all understand, huh? Let's look at 1.4. Determine the value of the 20th term. So wherever I see n up with a 20, so it's negative 6 times 20 plus 17. Negative 6 times 20 is negative 120. Plus 17 is negative 103. So that means to say, if I extend the sequence, the 20th term of the sequence will be negative 103. You all okay with that? You all agree with that? You all agree? Yes. 1.5. Is 43 a term in the sequence? Justify your answer. And what we do is say term n, the nth term has to be 43. So it's negative 6n plus 17 is equal to 43. So you take 17 over, it's negative 6n is equal to, what's 43 minus 17? 27. 26. Divide by negative 6 both sides. So n is equal to negative 4.3. Can that be the case? No. So therefore Tn will never be equal to 43. Why? Because the n must be an element of natural numbers. Is there anybody that's confused? You all understand, no? Still easy. Okay. look at number 3. We said out of number 3 we're going to do B. Answer the questions below for the sequence A, B, C and D. As you can see, A, C and D is not here. Okay? I just got B down. Determine the value of X for which these terms form an arithmetic sequence. What do we say? What is exclusive to arithmetic sequence? Common difference. So use your common difference formula to solve for X here. Then you determine the formula for the nth term of the sequence. And then determine the value of the 19th term. So do that quickly. Okay, guys ready? Okay. So 3.1, determine the value of X for which these terms form an arithmetic sequence. So we say for arithmetic sequence we'll have a common difference, which is T3 minus T2 equals T2 minus T1. It's going to be 3x minus 2 minus x minus 1 equals x minus 1 minus 4 minus 2x. You all agree with that? The bracket is there because of the negative. So it's 3x minus 2 minus x plus 1 equals x minus 1 minus 4 plus 2x. So what do I do now? X is one side, numbers are the other side. Go first, add like this. So that's going to give you 3x minus x is going to give you 2x. Minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. X plus 2x is 3x. Minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. X is one side, numbers are the other side. So we take that over. So it becomes 2x minus 3x is equal to minus 5 plus 1. So 2x minus 3x minus x equal to negative 5 plus 1, negative 4. So divide by negative 1 both sides, so x equal to 4. You all agree with that? No confusion at this point. Okay? So x is equal to 4. I'm sure you guys can do this in far less steps than this. Not so? Don't feel compelled to do all the steps. If you are comfortable and you are accurate most of the time, all the time, then I would suggest use these steps. Okay? But if you are a learner that mixes up a sign here and there, now and then, rather stick to all the steps. Okay? So it's not going to be worth the time you're saving to lose that amount of marks that you will. Okay? So if x is equal to 4, okay, the question says determine the formula for the nth. So if we need the formula, we need to know what the sequence is. Not so. So if x is equal to 4, then what's the sequence? 4 minus 2 times 4. X is 4 minus 1. It's 3 times 4 minus 2. Okay? So it's 4 minus 2 times 4. That is negative 4. Not so. So what is 4 minus 1? 3. What is 3 times 4? 12 minus 2. 10. That's all. So for the formula, what would it be? Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1d. How do I move from one term to the next? Adding 7. And then? Adding 7. So it's going to be Tn is equal to negative 4 plus n minus 1 times 7. Are you all with me? So what do I do now? Multiply out. Get rid of the brackets. So it's negative 4 plus 7n minus 7. Which is 7n minus 13. Who got that answer? Who got a different answer? What did you get? Minus 11. Should be minus 11. The people who put up their hands, how did you get the wrong answer? How did you get 13? Huh? You didn't get that one. You got this one? You must tell me when I'm wrong. Huh? Alright. You're with me. Right. Determine the value of the 19th term. They want to know the value of the 19th term. So for the 19th term is T19. So it's 7 times 19 minus 11. 7 times 19 minus 11 gives an answer. Sorry? 120. 122. You all agree with that? So for homework, I want you guys to do exercise 1, the remainder of that exercise, the remaining sums of that exercise. Okay. I tell you guys yesterday, you can use your last year's maths book and just write it full, and then you can then use your new book after that. Okay. Don't let all that paper go to waste. People, enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning, class.